Welcome back to us. Today we're going to be doing a prediction between the current governor of California, Governor Gavin Newsom on the Democratic side, versus J.D. Vance, the current vice president on the Republican side. So we'll be going through each of these key swing states, the core seven. We'll start out with Nevada. I think Nevada would most likely end up in Governor Gavin Newsom's column. I'm going to put that state in the tilt blue. This state, but prior to 2024, had a pretty consistent history of voting for Democrats. The state does have a Republican governor that actually is up for re-election this November, and that will be give us an idea of which way the state is leaning for the state at large. But I think on the presidential level, that we've just seen demographics shy away from Republicans and Trump in general towards the Democratic Party. We've seen this in special elections that have taken place since 2024 and throughout the nation. And I think that just the overall Democratic environment is quite a bit better than it was in 2024. So I'm going to put the state of Nevada into Governor Gavin Newsom's column. And then we're going to add for the tilt rating for the state of Arizona, I'm going to put that state into J.D. Vance's column, if it will allow me to. There we go. So that is going to be 11 electoral college votes for J.D. Vance. We'll head on over to the other half of the Sun Belt. I'm going to start with North Carolina. I'm going to put that into J.D. Vance's column. I do think that now, if the election were to be held today, it is a good environment for Democrats, but I don't think it is 2008 level good, which is probably what would be required to win the state on the presidential level for the Democrats. I don't see that as a very likely possibility for now, at least. But as far as the state of Georgia goes, I would probably do the other party. I'm going to give that to the Democrats, Governor Gavin Newsom. So that is going to be the state of Georgia. And that really just leaves us with the three Rust Belt states that will really determine the presidency. So I will start out with Wisconsin. Wisconsin is probably the state that I feel the most confident in putting into Governor Gavin Newsom's column. This state was one of the, I think it might have been the closest of the core seven swing states in 2024. So it wouldn't take a lot for the state to flip blue. Really, all these states are going to be inherently competitive, which is why they are swing states. But Wisconsin, I'm going to put that into the Democratic column for Governor Gavin Newsom. The state I probably feel the most optimistic about J.D. Vance winning in the Rust Belt would probably be Pennsylvania, which would definitely be advantageous. We can do, this isn't my prediction, but we can do some hypothetical math. Giving the state of Pennsylvania to J.D. Vance would bring him to 265, and ultimately it would just come down to whoever wins Michigan. I do think in this case that the Rust probably vote together. The Rust Belt has had a fairly consistent history of doing this. In 2016, well, you can go before 2016, but starting in 2016, Trump was able to win those three Rust Belt states, which really carried him to victory. In 2020, all three of those Rust Belt states went for Biden, helped him win by a pretty significant margin. And then later in 2024, all three states went to Trump again. So I do think in this case that the three Rust Belt states would largely vote together, which is why I'm going to put Michigan into the Democratic Party's column for Governor Gavin Newsom. And then, like I said, I do think this is probably going to be J.D. Vance's best hope, but I don't think that it would be enough of an advantage. So I'm going to put all three into the Democratic Party's column. So that results in a Governor Gavin Newsom victory to 292, to Vice President J.D. Vance at 246. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.